The Maldives, Fiji, the Seychelles. Every year, guests pay thousands of dollars a night to disappear into paradise. But the most exclusive resorts on Earth share one invisible problem, and almost none of their guests ever know about it. Here's the thing about a private island. You are completely surrounded by water, thousands of miles of it, and you cannot drink any of it. Seawater contains about 35 grams of salt per liter. Your kidneys can only excrete 11 grams per liter of urine. Drink enough seawater and your body begins pulling water from your own cells just to process the salt. You would die of dehydration, surrounded by the ocean. For a private island resort, this is the central paradox. Paradise is actually a desert. The solution, developed over decades of engineering, is called desalination. And on a private island, it happens inside a room most guests will never see. The most common method is reverse osmosis. Think of it like a coffee filter, but instead of catching coffee grounds, it catches individual salt molecules. Seawater is pressurized, sometimes to 70 times atmospheric pressure, and forced through membranes so fine they block anything larger than a water molecule. Salt stays on one side, fresh water comes through the other. In theory, simple. In practice, it requires enormous energy, constant maintenance, and infrastructure most resorts bury underground to keep invisible. The Soneva Fushi Resort in the Maldives produces over 200,000 liters of fresh water every single day, enough to fill an Olympic swimming pool every 4 days, generated entirely from the ocean surrounding it. Beneath the wooden walkways and thatched roofs lies a facility that would look at home in an industrial complex. Pumping stations, high-pressure pumps, banks of membranes, post-treatment mineralization, because pure desalinated water actually tastes flat, so minerals are added back in before it reaches your glass. These systems run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The moment they stop, the resort begins running out of water, in hours, not days. Your morning shower, desalinated. The swimming pool, desalinated and continuously recirculated. Every dish in the restaurant, desalinated. The ice in your cocktail, desalinated. Every single thing that makes a private island feel like paradise begins in a concrete room with a membrane and a pump. Remove that system, and you don't have a luxury resort. You have an uninhabitable island. But this story doesn't end on a private island. It starts there. The technology that keeps a 40-villa Maldivian resort running has been scaled to supply drinking water to entire cities. Saudi Arabia now produces over 7 million cubic meters of desalinated water every day. The UAE gets more than 40% of its fresh water this way. Australia built massive coastal desalination plants to survive its growing droughts. Private resorts were, in many ways, the testing ground. They had the motivation, survival, and the capital to invest in early, expensive technology. The cost per liter of desalinated water has fallen over 90% in the last 40 years. Much of that progress happened because island operators needed it to. The next time you're near the ocean, any beach, anywhere, and you reach for a glass of water, think about what it took to make it. Someone had to solve the hardest problem in hospitality: how to give you something to drink when you're surrounded by water you cannot touch. The best engineering is always invisible.